Hey guys, Tarp here, bringing you some MLNZ action. It's a 1v1 on the new map, Emily Fields, made by Wolf. This is from the quarterfinals, upper brackets. And playing for today's morning in the north, we've got AshaBlois playing as the Brits. His loadout is Mobile Assault, Royal Artillery, and Vanguard. South Eastham is Luvnest, playing Zorsia, and straight away locking into German infantry, which feels kind of out of character for Luvnest. Often see him picking his fighters quite late in comparison. Trying to go for a full wire off here, but didn't quite get the spacing. Has to put down one more piece of wire. So yeah, this game from day 2 of the tournament. Unfortunately, I was looking to cast some day 1 games, but unfortunately the tournament mode was updated. The mod and all those replays are dead. But yeah, I mean, the games don't get much better than AshaBlois versus Luvnest. So let's see how they get on. So we're seeing a 4 infantry section build here from AshaBlois. Machine gun setting up, but out in the open versus Tommy's in heavy cover. Unless he gets suppression, the MG is going to lose. And Ned does just taking way too much damage. MG trying to reposition here. Quite close to the base here, so not too far to retreat, but it looks like he maybe wants to still use it to provide some cover. Do have Grenadiers coming in from the side. He's putting down some sandbags. Get some good damage onto the infantry section before they make it back into cover. And another Grenadier coming in for Luvnest. We have seen sometimes with this build, no machine gun. Just massing Grenadiers. But, you know, machine guns are typically quite good against Brits. And at the moment, no universal carrier from AshaBlois. It's kind of interesting. I am aiming to cast the whole best of 3 here. I did see that AE did cover the final match of this series, but I'll make sure it's all on record. Full best of 3. It's getting very low, but they do get the cutoff there. In a good position here for Luvnest, getting these squads low. Should be able to win from here, just given the amount of health they have. This squad already down to a low number of models. So pretty good start. AshaBlois, however, has managed to sneak his way down to this fuel point over here. Take a look at tech. We do have Battle Phase 1 coming through for Luvnest. And given his relatively strong start, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 250. Real benefit of the 250 is it comes in so much earlier than the 222. And as a result of that, you can get quite a lot of damage done with it. Oh man, that's a weird retreat path. Going around the fence like that. You get quite a lot of damage done before the AEC arrives. But no, Luvnest is putting down his tier 2, so I'm not going to be seeing the 250. Made in, largely avoided by AshaBlois. And going straight into Royal Engineer here. Sometimes if you... Oh, cut off play here by Luvnest, by the way, and now jumping onto the VP. The squad just camped out by the fuel point. So a lot of resources getting harassed on both sides. Those with low income at the moment. Medics popping on this squad for AshaBlois as he pushes back onto the battlefield. He's sending a lot of forces over here. That Grenadier is not going to last long. Sounds like Luvnest finally got the machine gun involved onto the cutoff again. Forced away that squad. Repositioning behind the heavy cover, didn't quite get the cap there. Tommy's coming in from the other side. Luvnest's going to have to abandon that, and does very quickly. And it's going to be the 222. AshaBlois, meanwhile, has completed the requisition AEC. But still about 20 fuel away from being able to build it. So there'll be a small window here where the 222 can do some damage before the AEC arrives. And this is why you don't see AshaBlois go 5-man green update, or 5-man Tommy upgrade by the, because then that would delay the AEC too much. Sometimes you can get away with it though. Especially if you have a really, really strong start as Brits.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
222 coming through, looking to force away some squads here. And get some good damage in. And the squad might be able to sneak around the corner here on the machine gun. It's a little bit low as well. AC in production now for AshaBlois. And the first 5-man grenadier complete for Luvnest. And it looks like he is delaying his mid bunker. That's one of the options you have with this commando. Once the grenadiers with this upgrade get Vet 1, the healing is free. Actually costs, I think it's 15 munitions, so there's a strategy you can do. Save a little bit of manpower on that mid bunker. And just go for mass upgrades. And at least you just squeeze in maybe like a slightly earlier pack like we're seeing here from Luvnest. And he's actually getting a lot of territory on the back of that 222 arriving. He's about to secure double fuel here. But he's not really pushing it to the limit with the 222 at the moment. And here comes AEC. So you don't want to be like all the way forwards. AEC finds you, doesn't take a Faust, and then your 222 is dead. It's a recipe for losing the game. So I'm just going to have to be very careful with his AEC here. I mean, 222 against AEC. Needs to have that pack positioned effectively throughout the match. Trying to force away this engineer. Oh, how did he get that Faust off there? I'm surprised he was in range. He's trying to force the retreat here with the Grenadiers. But AshaBlois holds his nerve. Oh, a T-gun connecting from the side. Really nice play here from Luvnest. He's behind the fence. I think they'll block shots as well. Yep. He's got one more attempt here. Oh, off target. But that's still a lot of repairs, and because they're down to 2 models, won't be able to repair that up very effectively on the front line, so pops the retreat. So it does allow the 222 a good window here to do some damage while the AEC is off with the damaged engine. Luvnest got to fully exploit that. Oh, he's even thinking about going in for the kill here. That's a little bit risky. Yeah, this is somewhat surprising, seeing a Vickers from AshaBlois. Unusual. At this point in time, he could maybe consider getting in some commandos. But maybe he wants to keep the option open to go for the Valentine, so doesn't want to commit to the commandos here. Let's leave his options open. Luvnest, meanwhile, using the 222 not at full health is somewhat risky, because the 222 could potentially go down to like 2 shots and a bit of small arms damage. Does have a Teller out on this far flank though, maybe trying to bait the AEC over in this direction, which is now had its engine critical removed but not fully repaired. That amount of health is just out of damage range for 2 AT gun shots, it looks like, but 2 AT gun shots and a little bit of follow-up from the 222 would still take it down. So both these players taking some risks, not using their light vehicles at full strength. Stormtroopers deployed by Luvnest. AshaBlois pulling back. This is usually the time where you'd see a 5-man upgrade popped. But nothing here from AshaBlois. In fact, he's putting down a mortar pit in the center. So how effective that has been in the 2v2 tournaments recently. And yeah, it does allow very good control of that central VP area.
We're losing a capture point.
You see coming around the corner. These guys not in camo at the moment. There they go. Try to sneak their way in. No, decide against it. But yeah, Stormtroopers tend to be quite good against Brits because you can sneak them into position and get those ambushes going. All tactical advance activated. Some big damage. But now AEC coming in, trying to exploit them. Do take bonus damage while they're using a tactical advance. their posture. Yeah, that was weird. Looked like the tactical advance wore off and they were still moving around very slowly.
Anti-tank gun ready
These
to
guys
do some
also do
damage.
have an incendiary grenade, which can be pretty effective against some placements. Oh boy, that was a big shot, and he could lose the stormtroopers on retreat now. AEC connecting, taking down 2 models. There's a door for the kill here. 2-2 nearby. Here comes the pack, and AshaBlois not chasing it any further. Playing it safe. But look at this map control right now for Luvnest. Oh, the lag has opened up the tactical map. Very, very strong right here for Luvnest. It has been for the last 2 minutes or so. That should mean he'll get to his medium tanks very quickly. Just starting Battle Phase 2 now, though. AT gun for AshaBlois. Even though he does have, you know, the AEC, which can tame the 2-2 very effectively, can't be on both sides of the map at the same time. Looks like Luvnest here trying to bait Asha onto that teller, running around the corner here. But dodged by Asha. But Asha not falling into the trap. At the moment though, his map control very, very poor, and that can sometimes happen when you invest into indirect fire like this. It takes a while to pay itself off. But I got a pretty good hit on the 5-man greens. He doesn't have to retreat though, can just pull back, activate the med kit, and then return to the battlefield. Or the front lines at least. 2-2 coming back forwards once more. Pack connecting with the AEC. Attack round missing. Luvnest in the hunt. Almost getting the kill again. AT gun missing for Asha. Very lucky for Luvnest.
Enemies trying to take a point from us.
Made over the shrubs. Almost gets the wipe there, but ends up getting away at 3 models. 2-2 coming back in. AT gun setting up again. This time it connects very, very low in health, but still alive. Just charging in here with the 5-man grenadiers. Coming from the side as well with this infantry section. Grenadiers do end up getting forced away, but so does the low Tommy squad. 5-man upgrade has completed now for Asha. Looks like maybe a couple models of these grenadiers not fully behind cover there. Oh! Okay, that was a close call for Luvnest. Got to get out of there. Next couple shells here could be the wipe. Here he goes. Asha was, you know, thinking about chasing him for the kill, but Luvnest did retreat in time. And tier 3 is going up for Luvnest behind all of this.
Are securing our territory.
Take a look at the KD here. Pretty close. Luvnest a little bit behind.
Do not let up. The enemy still has 300
And
points.
has gone for a mid bunker. The advantage of the mid bunker is, you know, once your squad retreats, they just start healing up automatically. You don't have to worry about any micro control having to put the med kits on your squads. And that can be helpful for keeping your other squads alive. Don't have access to the med kits, just machine gun, stormtroopers. So I think it is eventually a good idea to go for it, but can afford you a little bit more manpower in the early game especially. Stormtroopers creeping their way in here, activating the tactical advance in the centre. Asha, quick to retreat. And then Luvnest also has to retreat in the face of the Vickers. 5-man greens threatening to come around the corner, putting a bit of pressure on the 6-pounder. AT gun nowhere near for Luvnest on the other side of the map, so nothing really to follow up on this. Oh! Okay. Looks like the AEC connected for another big hit there. Maybe took down 2 or 3 models, almost got the wipe. But they do get away. And here we go. First medium tank on the battlefield for Luvnest. AshaBlois did go for Royal Artillery, but never fielded himself the Valentine. And hasn't yet ticked company command. Coming forwards here with the P4. P4, one more shot can get the kill. They Instead uses the attack ground on the mine. Now the Panzer IV in some trouble. 222 not coming in to save the day here. I thought he might be bringing in maybe suicidally and acting as a bit of a buffer, but looks like the P4 is going to be able to limp away. So Asha might be able to get the kill on it there, but not quite. Oh, he goes for a Valentine. Maybe that's going to go in for the kill. Very late to activate the Valentine, but I guess he feels like he is behind at this stage. His medium tank's going to be coming in too late to counter Luvnest, so go for the Valentine right here. But if he was going to make that decision... Oh, mine on the retreat. 5-man Grenadiers could be in trouble. If he was going to make that decision, he could have made it, you know, close to 3 command points ago. So a lot of missed time on the battlefield for the Valentine. It would have been a lot easier for it to do damage without a medium tank on the battlefield. But I guess that means Asha feeling a little bit desperate. Valentine's still pretty powerful. I want to go head to head with the Panzer IV, but if you can get on its rear arm, it does alright. Look at the range on that mortar pit. Barrage has a slightly longer range than the auto fire, like you can see there. Forcing back the MG42. Asha around 200 VPs behind at this stage. So Luvnest performing very, very well so far. And I do wonder why Asha chose not to get the universal carrier. We saw in it was the Corona Cup on this map as well that the universal carrier was very, very strong against us there. So a little bit curious why he didn't get it, and maybe that's why his early game was a little bit weaker than usual. But maybe he's got some strategy. Oh, Luvnest creeping in for the cap under the camo. Oh, grenade in. Stormtroopers. Oh, big damage. Could go down potentially to the Vickers. And they do. The grenade and the Vickers combined with the slow retreat because of the tactical advance. He loses the Stormtroopers there. It's a pretty big loss for Luvnest. Oh, could this be the end of the AEC? Dodges forwards. AT gun going to have to reposition. Go for the attack ground. He's missed most of them so far. And misses again. AEC going to get out of range there. Had the concentration barrage dropped on the AT gun now. Valentine coming in, looking for the kill. Oh, very close. Airburst shells scattering slightly to the left, saving the day. Oh, Grenadiers chased forwards and got the kill on the AC with the Fouts, it looks like. Now retreating back through the center. Okay, so did lose the Stormtroopers, but got the kill on the AEC, so that's pretty good for Luvnest. Does open up a few more opportunities for him to get more aggressive with his tanks now without the AEC lingering around, but does have to be careful with the mines. Asha has planted quite a few of those so far, so gonna have to be on top of his game in terms of mine sweeping, and chooses to go for another pyre. Extra repairs surely going to come in handy. This is a good timing to get them as well, like right around the time where you'll be building your second tank. You're going to need the extra pyres for repairs. And at the moment, you know, these pyres were way on the front lines, nothing to repair his Panzer IV back at home, so makes sense. Asha lobbing a few of those grenades now. Mixed results. But that is the preferred way to play with infantry sections these days. 5-man upgrade with the grenades. Now that their moving performance is a lot better after the last patch, you can play with them in a lot more mobile fashion. And the grenades really aid that kind of offensive run and gun style. And it just comes down to attrition as well. Eventually your opponent, there's a good chance they're going to miss one of those grenade dodges and you're going to get the wipe. Second Panzer IV coming in for Luvnest. Second AT gun for AshaBlois. As you would expect, you know, he's kind of behind in this scenario. He needs double AT guns to hold back these Panzer IVs. Planting a whole bunch of mines. He's really well set up in the center of the trenches with the Vickers. It's making it very tricky for Luvnest to contest in the middle at the moment. And here comes the AT gun supporting the Valentine. 222 though, still out on the side doing some nice damage. Yet more mines going down for AshaBlois. Double sweepers now though for Luvnest. He's getting targeted by the mortar pit. Comes in for the attack ground to clear out the mine. Double Panzer IV's out on the far side. Hasn't upgraded the second one with the machine gun quite yet though. Full health one coming forwards. AT gun coming around the corner for Asha. And connects, but we've had an AT gun go down on the side to the Grenadiers. Whoa, that looked like it might have been an attack ground. Oh, and Luvnest staying in the arc for a little bit too long there. Loses 222. That's a shame. The vision that provides that veterancy is very valuable. Before briefly considered coming through the center, but it's too risky. Valentine coming out to the far side. Doesn't take engine damage from run critical, which is what makes it so powerful. Asha exploiting that to the maximum right there. Bringing over the freshly recruited AT gun. As Luvnest threatened on the far side. Luvnest in control of the center at the moment. Still around 100 VPs ahead, and he's gone for a mortar of his own to try and force this Vickers, Vickers out of the trench in the center. And Asha embracing the trench warfare here, putting down yet more trenches across the battlefield. Mortar pit returning fire. AshaBlois dropping the flares, doing some spotting here. And we'll take a look at the amount of sight that provides. Gives them so much intel on what's happening on Luvnest's side of the map. Makes it so easy to position the units for quite a long time and not that high of a cost. One of the reasons why Royal Artillery is so powerful and popular. AT gun not on prioritized vehicles here. Off grenade in, flushing them out of cover, allowing these squads to charge forwards.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Getting some good damage as well. Going to force that section back to base, I would imagine. Machine gun in a little bit of trouble. Valentine connecting, getting some big hits. Goes down. Look, you see there, looks like it took down 2 mortars with the first shot, 1 with the next. A little bit of small arms from the supporting squads. And now machine gun in trouble. Fall into Asha's hands, and Panzer IV had to pull back. The AT gun was in a nice position to support for Asha. Double grenades in. So yeah, a couple of lucky hits from the Valentine main gun, and now Luvnest in a bit of trouble facing down double machine guns. Asha has finally managed to complete his tech as well, going for the Cromwell. So could this be the turning point?
Trying to take one of our points.
Luvnest at the moment struggling a little bit for manpower. You can see the KD is starting to get a little bit more lopsided as fragmentation bombs take down the machine gun. Only decrewed though, take down both the trenches as well. Okay, nice activation there from Luvnest, and he's staying on the offensive. Panzer IV still on this far flank. Really like to take down maybe even the decrewed machine gun. Could be a nice pickup. There's the other Panzer IV out the back though. Looks like he's playing it safe. Oh man, that Grenadier. He's going in for the steal. His mortar popping the smoke. Trying to cap behind this. Grenade in for AshaBlois, but does not get the kill. But the one-man Grenadier that was retreating down here does go down. So Luvnest's a little bit later on the retreat there. Ends up losing another unit. Does secure the Vickers, however. It's falling a little bit behind, and instead of going for another tank here, it's going for another squad of infantry. Interesting.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
At this point in time, Luvnest does also have maybe the option of considering ticking up to battle phase 3. Try and get down the tier 4 tech structure, get access to those bonuses, maybe make his manpower attrition not quite so high on the long run. And maybe consider trying to go for a Werfer to try and bust open this double AT gun position for Asha. Asha going for some attack rounds through the shrubs, but nothing connecting so far. Got 9 kills, Vet 3 by the way. Grenade slightly into the retreat path, hoping that Luvnest wasn't paying attention and would retreat into it, but he does not fall victim to that. Oh, 5-man Grenadier's in some trouble. That Valentine doing the damage. 8 kills. Nearly Vet 3 already, despite getting it at quite a late timing. If you consider that this Panzer IV was on the battlefield before the Valentine, it's still not Vet 2, 6 kills. Valentine almost Vet 3, 8 kills. Shows how well that thing has been performing so far. And at the late timing he got it, so... Even if you didn't plan on getting the Valentine, AshaBlois showing that it can still be strong at the later timing. If you're a little bit behind. Cover gone for those Grenadiers now. So he's making a play for the central VP. Asha replanting these trenches, or re-digging. Still no machine gun on the second Panzer IV for Luvnest. A little bit surprising. Just like so much more manpower bleed with that thing. And especially if you have to get like aggressive. Going after some AT guns out of position, having the extra firepower from the machine gun is very, very important in those scenarios. But going for those all-in big dives, jumping on top of AT guns, very aggressive stuff, is very risky, especially against a player like AshaBlois. It's got very well set up lines, lots of mines. It's a high risk play. Luvnest not willing to take that risk, especially at the moment. He's got the VPs under his control, draining Asha at the moment. These guys very, very clumped up. This could be nasty. Cromwell, main gun. Yeah, Luvnest pulling trigger on that retreat early. Before getting some shots from behind the safety of the building, avoiding the AT gun damage so far. And softening up this trench once again with his mortar. AT gun on the far side, forcing back the P4. Pose nearly went down there, wow. Slowly chipping away with the mortars, Luvnest. 1 kill on that so far. Asha trying to do some healing on that. In between mortar barrages. Trench down. But the AT gun forcing back the Panzer IV on the far side. Doesn't have any pies over there for the repairs at the moment. And the mortar pit returning fire does force off Luvnest mortar now. Asha fielding himself another Cromwell. Game's starting to slip away a little bit here from Luvnest. He is kind of, you know, somewhat aggressively going for these caps, taking a bit of manpower bleed while he does so. Katie hasn't really stretched too far in Asha's favour though since the last time we checked it. Now with, you know, 2 mediums, 2 AT guns and the Valentine on the field, Luvnest is going to have a very hard time getting any damage done with these Panzer IVs. He's in a tough position and he is now taking up Battle Phase 3. Asha just inching his way forwards with these trenches. Very frustrating style to play against. Units are just so much more durable when they're inside the trench. Aided by the fact that when the trench dies, there's no death criticals or anything. They just pop out the same health they would be otherwise. Unlike, you know, when a vehicle dies. Okay, there we go. P4 gets a shot in. Pack does as well. Attack round attempt from Asha. Unsuccessful. Pyro's coming around the corner. Without the flamethrowers, not much he can do about that trench. Mortar pit's starting to rain down on the Vickers. Trying to plant some mines, but the Pyros are there to prevent it. In comes the Valentine. Notice that the AT gun's on the far side, so he's free to get a little bit more aggressive with the Valentine. Luvnest rotating though, bringing both the P4s across, but gets spotted by the AT gun thanks to the vision from the trench. And nearly loses. Takes a lot of damage on the Panzer IV at least. Luvnest unable to get anything done in the centre. Does have enough for another frag bomb. Bang Green's on the side, Cromwell rotating. Luckily the main gun is facing the wrong direction, so Luvnest has a good chance of getting away here. Main gun misses, double P4s coming across. But Asha quick to pull back, he's got an AT gun in position as well. In fact, now the Panzer IV are in a little bit of jeopardy. One shot from death. And Asha just slowly just inching his way forwards. The trenches with the emplacements, and Luvnest losing his grip on the game inch by inch. Look at this. Asha with such a huge manpower surplus, a huge army size advantage. Luvnest having to invest more into tech, which is why I thought he would have gone for it a little bit earlier. Start to reap those benefits from the tech structure going down a little bit earlier than this. Maybe start that Werfer firing a little bit earlier, but did delay it a little bit, maybe uncertain about what he's trying to do, and now he's almost completely forced off the battlefield. The flares up in the air, he's got to be very cautious, and the long vision provided by those flares finds the Panzer IV here. Valentine coming through, connects through the frontal armor, even though he's got the skirts. P4 blitzing, Valentine bounces that shot. P4 misses the return damage though. P4 skirting around this bunker. Bunker blocks the shot. P4 coming in from the side, but so far all the shots are missed on the Valentine, and they continue to, so Luvnest's not going to be able to capitalize on that at all. He's got the infantry over here, dropping the frag bombs. Oh, Asha did dodge. Oh, but not far enough. AT gun and squad goes down there. Big frag bombs from Luvnest. Is that the turning point? His greedy is very, very low, trying to go for the capture. Coming in. And he's going for the steal on the 6-pounder. This is risky. Double Cromwell's right there. He's turning it around. Reversing it back, but we've got an infantry section coming in from the side. In comes the Panzer IV. Maybe he just has to go for the Constellation kill. And he does. He brings up the pack, connects with one, the P4 for the other. AT gun from the side though. Panzer IV very low after that. Well, bouncing, but doesn't on the second shot. And the Panzer IV goes down. Mortar team also decrewed over here. Looks like to the mortar pit, maybe from the amount of craters. And Luvnest loses Panzer IV. Did take down an AT gun, but probably not a very good trade for him there. Here comes the fully repaired P4. Gets a shot in. This AT gun not quite in position for Asha, so he's pulling back towards it. Oh, Faust connecting with the Cromwell. Luvnest pack though pulled all the way back to base, so not in position to assist with this maneuver. And now Asha's AT gun opening up on the Panzer IV. Panzer IV blitzing, trying to get away to safety here. Oh, could this be the end of the Valentine? No. Asha quick to pull back. An AT gun for Luvnest, not quite in position. Faust's going to connect though. Now Luvnest jumping into this trench in aggressive positioning. Before coming back in, a little bit risky. Will die to 2 shots. Really wants to finish the job on some of Asha's wounded tanks. Pack setting up. Cromwell could be in trouble. Cromwell takes a shot. Doesn't maybe have sight of the Valentine here. Grenade onto this and brings in the concentration barrage to force back the AT gun, and the shells land perfectly for Asha. Take down the pack before Luvnest has time to react. Just scatter on those. Both howitzer shells and the airburst almost perfectly connecting. And the pack is dead. Luvnest trying to maintain the aggression follow-up on some of those damaged vehicles, but doesn't get the job done. Now Asha has ticked Anvil and going for the Churchill. Now a lot of people have been talking trash about the Churchill lately. But here we are in the quarterfinals, upper brackets of this tournament. Asha going for it instead of a Valentine, a Comet. So haters, pay attention. Churchills are back on the menu. VP score, however, has equalized. He does have the tier 4 down. But this Churchill's going to cause him some issues. He doesn't have very much anti-tank at the moment after losing that pack, Panzer IV. Looks like he's right about there for a Panther, which he kind of has to go for now. With double Panzer IVs and the AT gun, maybe he could get away with going for Panzerwerfer, but this current states he is just too weak to go for that.
Enemy down to 200 points.
Here comes the Churchill.
Trying to take one of our points.
Very, very quick retreat there from Luvnest. So such a huge health pool and pretty durable too, decent armor. Hard to deal with. Something a little bit stronger. Secures the fuel. Doesn't really need it though, he's got a huge bank. Asha, however, could do with it. And then Panzer IV. He's got the skirts on this. Oh, here comes the Cromwell from the side. P4 popping the blitz. Cromwell missing. That one connecting. I think one shot didn't connect flush though. Might still take 2 shots to die from here. Both shots missing. Panther could go for the chase down. Both these Cromwells 2 shots from death. 1 shot there connecting. Panther stopping for maximum accuracy. And there we go. He connects. Cromwell goes down. That Panther arrived just in the nick of time for Luvnest. He manages to catch that Cromwell. He's exactly what he needed. Look at this. Asha's response to that. 2 more AT guns. He's already got 1. He's going to have triple AT guns to try counter this Panther. That means Luvnest is going to have to go for a Werfer, I would say. But in a 1v1 scenario when the VP's already this low, Werfer sometimes takes a while to get going. Could be like 3 or 4 barrages before it really connects with something. And maybe that's going to be too little too late for Luvnest. Made out for Asha. Just quick on the dodge. Luvnest trying to get the kill here. Asha late on the retreat. Going for a bit of run and gun. Does not get the kill, however. Asha with the triple cap. Luvnest getting low down to 130 now. Take a look at the KD once again. And look at this. Asha about 60 ahead now. Well, you know, he did briefly, you know, lose the grip on the game. That the mortar pit took a while to kind of have its effect on the game, but has paid itself off. He did hang on to it. Didn't lose control. And now Luvnest really struggling for victory point control.
Jerry's only got 100 points left.
Getting boxed out here by this AT gun. Panther out the back getting repaired still. Luvnest did go for the sweepers and the extra squad member to try and boost his repair speed. And there's one thing that Asha also doesn't have much of. Only has one engineer. Does have it with the heavy upgrade. But if he takes a lot of damage on his tanks, they will also be off the battlefield for a very, very long time. However, that damage is kind of hard to come by for Luvnest without a pack. Can't get those like free hits in onto these tanks.
Threatening a capture point.
Mortar for Luvnest getting blasted by the mortar pit. Grenade out for Asha, forcing back the Grenadiers again. And Luvnest time and time again charging in like this. Frag bombs coming through though. Asha not paying attention. And he loses another squad. That seems to be his kryptonite this game. Every frag bombs for Luvnest has connected very effectively and ruined, but they did get nerfed, their timings. Okay, Luvnest making it happen here. He's feeling desperate. Circling around the AT gun, looking for the kill on that. Panther coming in from the side. Cromwell coming across. AT gun goes down, but so does the Panzer IV. Cromwell, Churchill getting a little bit lucky with the penetration. Squad down in the center though for Asha. Opening up the capture for Luvnest. Luvnest coming through, looking for the Faust. No. Or late on the Faust. And Panther misses its shot. So Valentine's still alive. Churchill and Cromwell threatening the Panther, forcing it away. Unfortunately, Luvnest doesn't have anything to come over here and like kill this AT gun with. It looks like he's maybe going to go for the steel with the pyros though. Risky one, but he does manage to get the cap off. Asha going for some attack grounds through the shrubs, but Panther not getting damaged by them. He didn't go for the steel, maybe he wasn't paying attention. Goes for it now. Churchill coming in. Panther from the side. AT guns for Asha scrambling. Panther missing. So is the AT gun. Valentine coming forwards. AT gun setting up. Oh boy. Ooh, luckily one of them misses. And the Panther gets away. Does get the decrew, and that was on the Vet 3 one as well. So nice for Luvnest. AT gun comes forwards, putting some more pressure on the Churchill. Looks like it triggered a friendly mine as well. So Churchill very heavily damaged. So is the Cromwell. This is what I was talking about. Asha only has one repairing squad. No crew repairs in this commander either. So the damage inflicted now could be very important. Looks like the Valentine going hunting. He's going to take a Faust though. And Valentine cannot find the Panther for the kill. Panther getting repaired now. Another infantry section coming with AshaBlois. He did lose those last two rather carelessly, but yeah, what I was saying is fragmentation bombs did get their timings nerfed. They come in a lot more slowly, especially close to the edge of the map. So there's no real excuse for Asha not dodging these. Much easier to dodge these days. The drain back on Asha, but he's sitting above 200.
HMG crew has been lost to enemy action.
Oh, did he just lose the Vickers
We
to
have 200 points now.
the mortar? Interesting. I wonder if he's a heavy tac map player and just, you know, when you open out the tactical map and you can't see the health of the units inside the buildings. Maybe he just wasn't aware. So another free wipe against Asha here. Still no machine gun on this from Luvnest either. Does severely limit its anti-infantry firepower. But maybe he just wants to save his munitions for the fragmentation bombs. He's gone for another Panther now. And I think this is often the right response against a Churchill strategy. And even against Brits, I just think double Panthers are quite strong. I've had a good amount of success using them myself.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to to take one of our points.
Luvnest trying to secure the triple cap right now. Turning the VP situation around. Water. Oh, gets a really good hit, and that damages the engineers. No more repairs on the Valentine. It was pretty much fully repaired anyway, and he did finally build his second engineering squad. So rectifying that scenario. Panther pushing forwards through the center. Second Panther not far behind, but the AT gun back there for Asha zones out these Panthers.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Oh, couple skirmishes. Probably going to see a grenade tossed here. Yep. Luvnest quick on the dodge though, also expecting that. Here comes another squad for Asha, but unvetted. Oh, but here comes the Valentine. Panther also coming across. AT gun moving to counter the Panther. But 6-pounder through the center, threatening the Churchill. Connecting there, rear armor hit, mortar pit slightly off target, kind of getting between these two support weapons. Push onto this VP. Luvnest stays behind the heavy cover, but the grenade did the damage. Here comes the Panther though. Luvnest trying to hang on here, and does. The arrival of the Panther enough to force AshaBlois back, even though it doesn't have the machine gun upgrade. He might have been able to stay in there a little bit longer, but his AT gun wasn't really in position to come over and assist against the Panther, so I think it makes sense to retreat in that scenario. His AT gun was nearby though, he could have stalled out with the infantry section a little bit longer there. Asha getting close to ticking under 100 now. Does secure this VP on the side, but the double Panthers working nicely for Luvnest at the moment. He's got another fragmentation bombing run ready to go. AT gun coming across. Bouncing off the Panthers. Panthers do some pretty good damage though.
Losing a capture point.
Vic is covering the center. Asha unable to get in there. Mortar pit going to work on them though. Oh, and it looks like Luvnest mortar did end up going down to the mortar pit weapon destroyed. So he doesn't have that anymore. The mortar pit finally took its toll. Got the job done. Panthers switching from side to side here. Luvnest taking advantage of their mobility, and Asha's AT gun having switched from side to side also. Does have rapid maneuvers though, which he could be using a little bit more of to assist with these rotations. Is free, doesn't cost any munitions. So why not exploit that to the full? Coming out to the side. Luvnest bringing his AT gun in response. Double Panthers looking for a way in here through the center, it looks like. Find the Valentine. AT gun back there for Asha, but maybe the trench blocking its line of sight here. Now could get the kill on the mortar pit perhaps. It is putting pressure on the AT guns, pulling back. In come the engineers, but they've got the heavy upgrade very slow when they're in combat. Can't get in for a snare. Panthers think he wants to get the kill on the mortar pit here. Going for the capture is Asha. AT gun did get decrewed out back by the 5-man Grenadier. Concentration barrage called in on the machine gun in the center. Double Panthers pushing forwards aggressively here. Putting pressure on the tanks. AT gun recrewed. Mortar pit getting braced. Machine gun gets obliterated by the concentration barrage. Cromwell one shot from death. AT grenade does connect. Fragmentation bombs coming in on the engineers. They're slow to dodge, but they do dodge the correct direction. Frag bomb's actually stunning one of the Panthers. AT gun does get decrewed again, probably by the 5-man Grenadiers. And Asha getting forced all the way back to base here. His tanks in tatters. Panthers pulling back now. AT gun getting recruited. Still has the 5-man Grenadiers nearby, and the Panthers do have the machine guns targeting the AT gun here. It's going down pretty quickly. Dodges the grenade. Now blitzing across out of the arc. Coming across for the final Cromwell. Extremely low on health, and he gets it on the move with the blitz. AT gun gets decrewed again, and I think that's going to do it for Asha. Just has nothing left at the moment. Man, it was looking grim for Luvnest this game, I have to say. But he turned it around, just caught Asha off guard a couple of times with those frag bombs. It was really the deciding factor this game, and Asha also losing a couple squads. It's basically just Asha losing squads in very easy to prevent scenarios that allowed Luvnest to take this game. He was looking down and out, but what a turnaround for Luvnest. Take a look back at the KD. Asha still ahead, but not by nearly the margin that we saw earlier. He was about 60 ahead before. Now he's only about 30 ahead. And he's gone for the Brombeer to seal the deal here.
Supply line's been cut.
Bringing the Panther to finish off the decrewed AT gun. Make sure Asha can't come back into this game. Asha trying for the recrew here. 5-man Grenadiers pulling back. Going to be able to crew it before the Panther got the kill there. And Asha sneaking his way onto the far VP.
With 25 points left.
Panther fully repaired though.
Line's been cut.
Asha pushing into the center, trying to get the VPs under control. 5-man Green's getting forced off on the flank. Okay, Valentine called in by Asha to try and just scrape through this victory. He's got 11 VPs left. Oh, big shot from the Panther. Main gun actually getting some damage done there. That's rare to see. Double Panthers through the center. Here comes the Brombeer closing in on the center. Oh, big damage now targeting the AT gun. Panthers in here with the machine guns doing some big damage. Asha losing squads all over the show. But Luvnest did get forced away on the flank. So he's going to be on the drain here. But 60 VPs remain. Should be safe. And heading out to the far flank now. Valentine hoping to do something here. AT gun obliterated by the Brombeer. Panther just needs one more shot. And he gets it. Engineers go down too. Asha throws in the towel. Well, Luvnest got off to a really strong start this game. And I think part of that was to do with Asha not making use of the universal carrier and going for that early mortar pit. I think that cost him a little bit of map control. Eventually, though, it did start paying itself off. Asha had excellent control of the center. Luvnest was bleeding like crazy. Even if the mortar pit wasn't getting the kills, it would soften up the squad so much that other units could get the kills. And Asha just clawed his way back into the game. Shows the strength of the late Valentine still can be powerful as a comeback tool. Can perform still pretty well even with medium tanks on the battlefield. But Luvnest, man, it was the fragmentation bombs. Took down, it was like a machine gun and a infantry section over here. I think it was like 2 units over here, right? There's another one over here. And then Asha just losing a squad in the center during a hectic engagement. And ultimately those wipes were what sealed it for Luvnest. Very well played. Anyway, on to game number 2. So here we are for game 2 between these titans. Luvnest, after taking out game 1, now switching over to allies. And he's gone for Soviets, locking straight away into guard rifle combined arms. They're like, you've seen me use this commander a lot, which is a very good commander overall. If you remember, the KV-1 recently got a buff to its machine gun, the hull gun on it. Now has the same gun as the T-34, which makes it quite a lot better against infantry than it used to be. And now without the other heavy tanks such as the Tiger overshadowing it, I do think the KV-1 is a strong option, worth considering. This commander also has the guards, PPSHs, which I'm fond of, you may know. Can really help you get through the mid-game before you get access to 7-man upgrade. Howitzer, you know, it's good for the memes, maybe not for the tournament play. And the IL-2 Sternvik. It's one of the real highlights of this commander. Very, very strong in these tournament scenarios. Can just force back so many enemy units during a hectic push. Very powerful ability. Facing off against him, Asha has gone for Austria. His loadout is defensive. Hasn't locked into that yet, so not Ostrupen from him. Jaeger Infantry, I know I've played against him many times using this commander, one of his long-time favourites. And German Infantry, he also hasn't locked into that yet, but still is an option. Get that 5-man Grenadiers, you know, unlocked at 2 command points, so no rush to get access to that. And Luvnest going for his build, I would say. He's the one who pioneered this build. 3 conscripts into a second combat engineer. And the reason why you do this over 4 conscripts is, you know, there's a small discrepancy in the cost between combat engineer and conscript, about 70 manpower. And that extra 70 manpower makes a big difference when it comes to getting access to your healing. And then a squad of elite infantry after the very, very early stages of the game. That 70 manpower definitely makes a difference. There we go, first real engagement. Conscript slowly chipping away at these pyres. Asha trying to stall for time. Combat engineers sneaking out to the side. Asha goes for a big time wire off, trying to limit Luvnest's access to this, but now Luvnest sneaking on there, getting some wire down on the sandbag. Still there's some cover positions back there, but might limit it if 2 squads want to take cover back there. So far we haven't really seen Asha's machine gun become a factor, but it's moving into position now. And Luvnest needs to get out of there. There's quite a lot of squads here. Don't want to retreat too late. He's gone for a flamer on this combat engineer. Here we go, it's starting to retreat now. Machine gun set up, then packed up. I think a slight misclick from Asha. So it doesn't end up doing too much damage to the combat engineers. Conscripts behind sandbags on the VP, locking Asha out on that position as well. Battle phase 1 complete, and he is going for the 250. Didn't see Luvnest make use of it in the previous game, even though I think Luvnest could have hit it at a slightly earlier timing than this. But Asha's going to go for it, and he's got his Flamer Pyro back here waiting to jump into it, so you can see what he's going to go for. Luvnest taking this time with this retreat squad to put down his tier 2. Also has gone for the healing super early. Trying to conserve his manpower. But a very slow start to this game. So far though, I'd say Luvnest is ahead. But maybe this 250 is going to turn the tables. Still very low command points as well, so Luvnest a long way away from his guards. Maybe he would want that as an answer to the 250, but because there's been so little combat so far, it's not really an option. And he is starting in on a Maxim, but might consider cancelling that. Yep, straight away. And switches over to the AT gun. Probably ticking AT grenades as well. No, not quite. Doesn't have the manpower for it. And 250 coming through doing some big damage. Forcing Luvnest away on multiple fronts. Conscripts should be able to win this one though. Coming in slightly too healthy for the Grenadiers. So he's capping on the far side. 250 heading out in that direction now though. And tier 2 going down for Asha. I've seen some players such as Von Ivan try and just go for a straight tier 2 skip with this particular strategy with the 250. Mine gets triggered. Small arms, can it finish the job? Rear armor. Combat engineers trying to get the kill here on the 250 with the small arms. Conscripts coming in as well. 250 dodging forwards away from the conscripts. Going into setup mode where it can suppress potentially, but no.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
Small arms damage does finish the job. There we go, mines winning games, and Luvnest, early mine paying dividends, taking down the 250. And that is devastating for Asha. Though it did gain him a lot of territory control. As you can see here, he's in a nice position. And still going to get his 222 at a reasonable timing, 6 minutes 30, so... Not the end of the world for Asha, but really nice for Luvnest. Has gone for Zis, hasn't seen any action yet, but might against 222 and has managed to tech. Tier 3 down for Luvnest. Trying to put down some sandbags on this fuel point, but probably not going to be able to. In comes 222 and he's got a lot of squads in the retreat. Got to make sure he doesn't retreat too late here. Could go down. Going to get the neutralize and then hit retreat. Oh, that is a late retreat actually. And Asha is setting up some S-mines into his retreat path. Going for the wipe. Grenadiers switching targets now a little bit late, but he does get the wipe, so nicely done there. S-mines into retreat. Luvnest late on the retreat there. Is that costing him his squad? But yeah, really nice S-mines. This misses both of its shots on the 222. And this is maybe one of the drawbacks of this double combat engineer start. Don't have quite as plentiful access to snares. And this doesn't quite get in range. 222 still out here inflicting maximum pain. Luvnest jumping onto the cutoff down here though. And T70 in production. So he's just got to hang on a little bit longer. Good Zis barrage. Oh, he's getting forced away. 222 coming in, inflicting a lot of damage. Combat engineers in trouble for Luvnest. So chase down. AT gun moving into position now for Luvnest. He's off 2 mines. Which way to go? Whether to come over to here for an extra shot or come over to here. And ends up getting no damage done at all. Looks like these conscripts somehow in range of one grenadier and they're not quite in range to return fire there. It's funny how that works sometimes. Grenadiers coming through threatening the Faust on the T70, but it avoids it. And now looking to do maximum damage. Asha did manage to go for another grenadier, looking for a 4 grenadier double pyro strap, but that's going to delay his pack by quite a lot. Probably should have had it already. That's going to allow this T70 push back basically everything he has. Luvnest hasn't done any sweeping, just got the minesweepers on the squad now, so has to be a little bit cautious about these tellers. Maybe he'll take some slightly unusual paths to avoid it. One's the machine gun. But Asha, you know, he's got a really good infantry base here. It's going to be tough for Luvnest to overcome, rebuilding the lost conscripts.
We have more conscripts at our disposal. Okay, that's the last one. Ready for action.
Take a look at the KD briefly. You can see how far behind Luvnest is in that department. Just why Asha is able to afford so many more squads. Trying to hold on behind these sandbags, but in comes the flamer. Now coming through the center. So are the conscripts though. They're ultimately getting forced off though. Don't get the cap on the fuel. T70 coming in for some damage. So far not too much. Conscripts find the pack. Getting some decent damage onto it here. T70 coming in. Looks like he's going to go for an aggressive play on it. No, decides against it. Pack misses. Oh, combat engineers sneak around the side of this machine gun while it's firing on this squad in the capture circle. The 5-man grenadiers are there. Dodges the rifle grenade. And it looks like the T-70s may be heading down this direction now. Combat engineers trying to complete the capture. And Luvnest really wants that fuel. So far the T-70 hasn't got that many kills. Done quite a lot of damage. Not too much kills. 222 coming in on the rear. Pack misses and tack ground through the building. T70 connecting, so is the Zis. 222 very low after that. Teller mine is there. Looks like he's trying to bait the T70 into it, but T70 pulling back after a Faust connects. And now he feels himself some guards. Would have liked these a long time ago, but the manpower just hasn't been there, especially having to rebuild that conscript squad. So this means that Asher should be on time for a really fast medium tank here. Once again, he also delayed his mid HQ, but going for it now. Or mid bunker rather. Hasn't upgraded all of his squads yet with the weapon upgrade, however. And one of the ones that he did isn't even Vet 1, so it's not free. Oh, you can't even use it, of course. Just behind heavy cover against these 5-man Grenadiers. These are generally the scenarios where you could consider maybe getting 1 or 2 squads upgrade with the PPSHs to help you fight against these weapon upgrade Grenadiers through the mid game. But it will hurt your late game a little bit compared to the 7-man Grenadiers. Oof. Didn't see whose mine that was. Pack coming across, but not full health, a little bit risky. T70 forces the machine gun out of the building. Oh, slight mistake from Asher. It resets up here. Could lose it now. Flamer coming through. Pack setting up. T70 needs 1 shot. And he gets the decrew. Grenadier's going for the regather. Oh, but they're down to 3 men. He loses the squad in the process. Pack does force away the T70, but mission accomplished. Grenadier goes down, recrewing that weapon. 2-2-2 on the far side, still doing some nice damage. Forcing away the capping squads. Interesting mine position there from Luvnest. 2-2-2 coming through the center, but the guards are there. And T70 forcing away the Pyos.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Just going back out for Luvnest. He pulled it all the way back from the threat of the 2-2-2. Always very close to that teller again. Not connecting. Machine gun, just pressing the guards. Sweepers on the other side of the map for Luvnest currently. And Luvnest could consider putting down his tier 4 now. Basically has the resources for it, and getting access to their 7-man conscripts upgrade earlier. Very helpful. He's spotted planting that mine. So if Asher's on top of the sweeping, come over here and take care of that. But Luvnest making really good use of the sandbags so far. Looks like he's putting down a tripwire over here as well. And it's helping him hold on to a lot of these positions.
The enemy is attempting to steal our
Sandbagging very, very important. And Asher forced all the way back. He's had a lot of trouble taming this T70 so far. Just going to go for attack ground on these mines rather than trying to sweep them. May not be super reliable. Missing every shot so far. A little bit of an elevation issue there. Oh, that was a horrible time to attack ground, that one. Still got this one down here as well. Hopefully he doesn't forget about it. 2-2 trying to get Luvnest off the capture circle here, and does. He has got rid of this wire here though, so I think it was a fence as well. Opens up a nice retreat path. Trying to creep in for a teller. A T-gun and Maxim right there. Surprised they can't see around that corner. Must be just out of sight. Guards do have the LMGs, and they're also destroying the cover here with the PTRSs. Okay, Telmine is down right in front of Luvnest. And I don't know if he spotted that. Back there though does connect.
We have a new Panzer IV.
And here comes the P4 for Asher. Luvnest still hasn't done his tier 4. He's reasonably well prepared though. He's got the AT gun, 3 conscripts with the AT grenades and some guards, so his Panzer IV is not going to be devastating against him, but still doesn't have his own response, and now starts the tier 4 production. Trying to attack ground this mine again. Does kind of give away its position in the fog of war though, hearing those attack grounds, so I'm just free to be a bit more aggressive with this T-70 if it was full strength.
Enemy forces are capturing our
It
supplies.
looks like it was going for a dive onto this cutoff. Oh my god. Just triggered again. Oh, twice. Conscripts just out of range. You could see they were trying to go for an AT grenade, but they were just pursuing a millimeter out of range. Doesn't quite go off. I think if Luvnest used the Ura as well, could have got the snare, but maybe didn't quite have the munitions. I mean, very, very close. And then mortar coming in for Asha. It's a sound choice. We saw how effective mortars can be in the last match. Luvnest is relying, you know, a lot on hiding behind sandbags, rather stationary positions, the Maxim as well. It's just a good slow attrition tool in a long match, which we've seen Asha has the patience for. P4 heading over this direction, but T-70's already pulled back. A couple mines going down for Luvnest as well. Luvnest in the driver's seat at the moment with the triple cap. He's in a bit of trouble. Tripwires here getting spotted though. Guys can sweep those. Tripwire going off though on the cutoff. And KV-1 coming in for Luvnest.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Conscripts trying to hold on to the VP in the center. 5-man Grenadier is too strong. T-70 coming in though. Asha does get the neutralized and has capped on the side, so he's not draining out at the moment. Good connection by the Panzer IV.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
And a second AT gun coming in for Asha. Expecting a tank from Luvnest. And he is playing, you know, at a very steady pace, just coming forwards with the sweepers. Not playing too risky. Getting rid of all these mines.
Ready to go, comrades.
Here comes the KV. T-70 getting some damage in. Grenadiers threatened the Faust, but oh, here comes the KV. Wasn't expecting that. Luvnest doesn't go for the chase down and go for the kill though. Plays it safe. Goes for the secure mode capture. Oh, KV getting aggressive here, running right into the double AT guns. But rather luckily for him, the second pack didn't get through the armor, so that Faust does not result in an engine critical. Lucky for Luvnest there. You could see he wanted to go in for the push, but wasn't expecting the second AT gun. Almost did him in. It's a neutralize on the far side. Combat engineers do spot the Talamine, but he doesn't want to go sweep it because the 222 could trigger it. He could lose the whole squad in the process of the sweeping. We'll send his T-70 over there for some attack grounds, it looks like, or maybe the KV. Gonna be the KV. T-70 being used on recon mode here. Probably trying to scout out the location of the double packs so he doesn't accidentally run into them. There we go. Telemine diffused. KV still not full health though, a little bit risky using it like this. Double AT gun setting up. One shot misses though. Bouncing and connecting, but the KV gets out of there in time. It's a durable beast, that KV. T70 though might not be so lucky. Oof, attack round. Nice attempt by Asha, but T70 makes out. P4 on the far flank, but getting chased away by the guards. And Asha with a bit of control on the victory points at the moment. And the mortar's starting to do some work as well. Forcing their reposition on the Maxim. Conscript pushing forwards though onto the mortar though, and the machine gun pushing through the center. Is this in a nice position to repel the Panzer IV? And Conscript's just diving really deep, going for this cutoff here. 22 is there. And he decides to conserve some manpower and not try and risk it. Ooh, a slight mistake here from Luvnest. AT gun out of position. Off grenade. All these support weapons getting forced back by one squad here. In comes the T70. The damage has already been done. Double AT guns coming behind this. A lot of damage onto these conscripts. It should be alright. Looks like Luvnest pulling all the way back to base with that three-man squad. Well, three-man AT gun. Well, conscript's not quite in the capture circle in that sandbag position. Interesting. And P4 pushing all the way across. AT gun nearby for Luvnest. Not perfectly positioned. Here comes the KV though. Asha can spot that mine with the sweeper. Spots that one as well. Attack rounds it to take care of it. T-gun moving forwards for Luvnest. But he doesn't have very good infantry support here again. Guards find the double packs rotating though through the center. Big one on the mortar. Oof. Just a constant jabs and thrusts across the map. Probing for weaknesses, but no huge maneuvers so far. Oh, trying to go for the diffuse. A little bit risky under fire. Calling in the frag bombs. Luvnest quick on the retreat. Oh, still lost the combat engineer. Well targeted by Asha. Just on the edge of it too. I think if they were like full health they might have survived that. They were a little bit low. Luvnest trying to go for the capture here. Trying to apply that VP pressure. At 150 points ahead of Asha right now. And he's sitting pretty. Asha has managed to tick up to tier 4 behind all this though. And now going for the Panther. Decent response to the KV. Luvnest has gone for the double AT guns. Which generally suggests that he wants to go for a Katyusha, I would say. Otherwise you'd probably just go for the SU-85. Instead of the second AT gun. So I think he wants to go for the Katyusha, but not 100%. And may consider not going for it after he sees the Panther. He still need to go for the SU-85. But if he's, so well defended in terms of anti-tank between the double AT guns and the SU-85, that leaves his other tanks a lot more freedom to do the anti-infantry roles, the T-70 and the KV. I was right, he's going for the caddy. Here comes the Panther though. Will he cancel the caddy in response to this? No. Continues the build. Okay, interesting. Machine gun once again covering this region. Asha really likes putting the machine gun in that building. push through the center. Could be wise for Asha to start considering using smoke in the center, just expecting the machine gun to be back there and maybe another squad in front of it as well before he makes his attacks. But goes for the mortar barrage onto the Maxim, softening that up nicely. Panther pushing in aggressively here. AT grenade connects before the Zis shot does though, so no engine critical. Oh. P4 going to take an AT grenade here though. And a second shot from the Zis, quite low after that. This KV though in no position to come through and exploit it. And Ash's Pack's in a nice position to cover the Panzer IV as well. So I think Luvnest has got the Katyusha on the field. Not quite as far forward as maybe should be, but he's looking for an opportunity to target these double packs. And here it comes. Kind of targeting the retreat a little bit. Decent scatter there for Luvnest. 2 models down, but looks like they're going to escape. And maybe if he drove that a tiny bit closer, would have got slightly better scatter. But that's alright. Eventually the Katyusha will probably get the job done. And Luvnest still applying a tremendous amount of EP pressure. Still no machine gun upgrade on the Panther. Mortar getting forced back through the center. And Luvnest looking for the triple cap again. Asha ticking under 150. He's got to get something going here. Pretty close to his pop cap limit as well. Squeezing like one more something. Oh, double AT guns connecting long range thanks to the sight from the 222. And hits him with a target weak point as well. KV very low after that, but Asha not pulling the target. Not pulling the trigger rather. Is going in now after the KV. This is there. Luvnest calling in the IL-2 Sturmviks to defend. And Asha deciding to go in a little bit too late there. Luvnest's response should be able to handle the task. So KV should be fine pulling back for repairs. Luvnest did at some stage lose one of his combat engineers though. Maybe conscript? No, not quite. Okay, frag bombs called in on the AT gun. Luvnest dodging now. Oh, still got decrewed. Didn't quite make it away in time. And Asha surging forwards. Double AT guns coming in behind this. To Sturmovics not targeting anything here. Asha going for the kill on the decrewed AT gun. KV very, very low. If they're considering going in for the dive on it, but the AT gun is in a nice position for Luvnest. Decides against it. A little bit of damage coming through, but R2 Sturmovik wasn't as strong a factor in that match or in that engagement as I thought it would be. Didn't end up doing that much damage, and now Luvnest, you can see his infantry army is quite low. He lost a squad of conscripts and a combat engineer as well as the Zis. So he's a little bit behind in that department now. Good push by Asha, and that all came off the back of the sight from the 222, spotting for the AT guns long range, putting pressure on the KV-1, and that was the start of the magic. And Luvnest didn't quite dodge in time. You know, he started dodging backwards, and then he's like, I should dodge out to the side. If he started dodging out sideways straight away, I think he would have gotten away. But yeah, just once again getting caught right on the edge. Loses this. I imagine the next unit for Luvnest will probably be the SU-85. Wants to have something that could fire long range on that Panther, a bit more mobile than wheeling a Zis around. And leave the Katyusha to deal with the packs. But Luvnest only fired one barrage with that so far. So, hasn't been terribly effective. He's still got, 350 VPs to work with. There's Asher down to 83. So there's plenty of time for that Katyusha to pay itself off. But yeah, has had a lot of downtime since the first barrage. Thing is, Asher's got his machine gun on the far flank, and that's a little bit too far for the Katyusha to be targeting at the moment. And doesn't really know the position of anything, apart from the mortar now in the center, so... Okay, 222. Still camped in the center, Panther on the far flank. T70 across here. Okay, pushing through the center, targeting the KV. Maybe they're targeting the guards. Yeah, they're targeting the guards. That's really weird. Panther coming forwards. Caddy. Targeting the pack. Scatter is bad though. Doesn't hit it at all. And once again, whiffing completely. And somehow it escapes. The rocket's just scattering perfectly for Asher. Doing almost no damage at all. Very lucky break from there. And meanwhile, Luvnest is falling behind on the KD just even further. I know that these are conscripts with the 7-man upgrade, but it's still a unsustainable amount of bleed. Comes S-85. Columbia in production. T-70 Vet 3 now on recon mode doing the spotting here. Spots the Panther long range. S-85 trying to work its way into position, but sees the AAT guns back there. Still connects for one shot. Oh, takes one in return though. Bouncing on the Panther though. And Luvnest going for the cap in the center, putting up sandbags behind this. Actually leaving the center a little bit undefended at the moment, which is troubling with his low amount of VPs. Might be time to mobilize his machine gun as well, get that involved in some of the fighting. Now that the fuel isn't really that important to be contested at this stage of the game. Oh, Grenadier's very, very low. Nice attack ground there from Asher though. Just when he gets out. Okay, Luvnest calling in the IL-2s. Just trying to relieve a bit of pressure here, I think. And Asher having no machine gun upgrades on any of his tanks. Doesn't have that somewhat low chance of shooting down any of these planes, so they'll be up for the full duration. Or maybe not actually. Oh, I forgot he's got the 222 back there still.
The enemy is taking our territory.
T-70 on recon mode, going for the sneak cap.
We must stiffen our resolve. We are down to 75 points.
Caddy coming through. Oh, decrews one of the packs. That could be big. T-70 anticipates the Panther coming across. Gets out of there before it becomes relevant. Katyusha still does some pretty good damage. No attack rounds through the trees from Luvnest though. Back is right there. Okay, now going for it on the Brumbier, but doesn't quite get the damage in. B4 coming forwards, but the KV's right there. So is the SU-85. Grenadier's very, very low. SU-85 has to pull back. Guards hold on to the center. 54 VPs left for Asher. He's capping on the far flank. So he's in a bit of trouble.
We have only 50 points remaining.
SU-85 through a focus sight mode on. Panther finds the KV a little bit undefended. Oh, pack connects, and Panther long range sniper shot gets the SU-85. Luvnest a little bit too careless, leaving that around on low health. Pays the price. Now he's really far behind in terms of army size. Hasn't managed to kill the decrew pack over here either. So Asha, a bit of a logjam for repairs, but otherwise in a very nice position this match. And the SU-85 was really bad for Luvnest. Going to have to rebuild that now. Instead of maybe going for some more infantry for the cap. Could also do with another combat engineer for some more repairs as well. SU-85 is the option. And he's not trying to push forwards aggressively while he's not in a good position to push forwards. Luvnest trying to conserve his manpower here, rebuild his army. You can see, you know, Ash is getting about 50 manpower a minute less at the moment. So Luvnest can milk that a little bit here. T70 on recon mode, gonna spot this stuff through the center. T-gun moving forwards a little bit in response. Okay, here comes the SU-85. This opens up on the Brumbier. And I thought Luvnest was saving up for another IL-2, but he's actually investing it into mines. He's planted a whole bunch of them, close to 100 munitions worth. Getting into the center, but Asha dodges sideways, barely takes any damage. And here we go, Asha basically at full strength here. Panther pushing through the center. SU-85 hammers in a shot though. And now Conscript's going to look for the capture. Here comes the Brumbier. SU-85 inching forwards. Missing its first shot. Pack is there. No, not quite in range. But Luvnest there took too much damage from Brumbier. Couldn't stand there any longer. SU-85 opening up on the Brumbier. So is the T-gun. In comes the fragmentation bombs. Luvnest on the dodge. And this time it does almost no damage. SU-85 looking for the Panther. And bounces. So is this. Panther getting quite lucky there. And Luvnest just has been slowly accumulating his manpower, building up his army, not trying to push forwards too aggressively. He's about to pop out another KV-1, and that's when he's going to get some magic happening. Still about 70 munitions away from the IL-2 Sternvik, so I'm sure he'd like that at the same time as well. There we go, the recon from the T-70 so valuable, allowing these free hits on these tanks, causing Asha a few issues in terms of repairs. Down some sandbags in a quite aggressive position, but the Brumbier has other ideas. This is probably the time where you go for another combat engineer now. Oh, P4. Asha trying to get the triple cap cooking now. He feels confident in his position. His tanks are pretty healthy. He's got a good size army. He's going for the triple. KV heading out to the side. 222 coming forwards. Probably spotting each other long range there. And the KV stops the capture. Fresh KV in the center at the moment. So is the SU-85 also fully repaired. And in comes the Katyusha. Finds the AT gun. Once again, you saw the rockets do like a semicircle around the AT gun. Didn't get too much damage on it. Busting barrage onto the Zis long range from behind the building as well. Really nice play there from Asha. And he gets the decrew.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
Is that the green light for Asher to get aggressive? Luvnest has saved it off for the R2 Sturmovix though. But be careful though, backing onto his own mines, that could backfire on him. Okay, there we go. R2 through the center doing some nice damage. Connecting with the pack as well. Pack in jeopardy. Pack trying to get the kill on the decrewed Zis. But in comes the KV from the side. Kills the pack. Luvnest sees this as a green light to get even more aggressive. SU-85 and KV pushing through the center. Looks like Luvnest trying to get the kill on some of these decrewed weapons. Frag bombs coming through though, getting the stun on. And Panther has done some pretty good damage to the KV so far. Oh, KV on the side. Trying to get around the corner and does. Panther pulling back. KV quite low now though. P4 from the side, from the rear in fact. He's about to lose one of his KVs. The other one in the center also going very, very low to the Panther. SU-85 chipping in against the Panther. KV spinning around. Panther connects and gets the kill. Luvnest might have overextended a little bit there. Now the Panzer IV coming in from the side on the SU-85. He's pulling back, trying to bait over these mines. But the P4 connecting on every shot so far. And every shot connects. SU-85 goes down. T-70 trying for a desperation cap, going for those last 36 points. But it's not going to be enough, I don't think. Katyusha, I think, tried to go for a desperation barrage in the center to try and stave off the VP capture. But again, unsuccessful. And now Luvnest just has nothing left. And Luvnest throws in the towel. Well, it was another close game. Luvnest got a little bit behind, but built his way back up for that big push, but just didn't go too well for him. He just overextended, pushed too far forwards with the KV in the center, took a lot of shots from the Panther, with the Panther not taking much damage from the SU-85 in return. Similar story over here, dived really far in with this KV, trying to go for this second decrewed AT gun. Allowed the Panzer IV to come in from the side/rear. This AT gun got crewed by some pyos, and then that KV was overextended. And yeah, just all went pear-shaped from Luvnest from there. Took way too much damage, did too little in response. And Asher exploited that to the maximum. Really well played by him. We will go on to the final game, Game 3 of this incredible series. Okay, here we go. The decider, Game 3 between AshaBlois and Luvnest. Map is Crossroads. Luvnest going with Soviets, Asher with Austria, and this time locking straight away into defensive, going for some Ostrupen. Changing tactics from Asher here. Luvnest going with the tried and true, even though he was not successful with it. We saw could have been successful, he just mistimed that push, or overextended in that push, didn't quite execute it correctly. So he backs himself with the same strategy again. But yeah, one of the real strengths with these Ostrupen starts is that you get onto the battlefield so much more quickly as also. You don't have to worry about building a tier 1. So you just run onto the map with your pose and start capping straight away. It just leads to a much earlier tier 2. Of course, you don't need to build your tech, so it's a little bit of resource saved there. And stronger resource control in the early game. And that allows you to get your light vehicles out at a devastating timing. Conscripts find a good angle there. Asher has to abandon the cap right before he's about to complete it. Ostrupen on the far flank also get spotted. Pull back to the cover so they can actually fight. And in the meantime, he's losing progress on that bar. Now gets back in there in the cap. But Luvnest off to a pretty good start here. Oftentimes, you can get bullied by Austruppen in the early game, but so far so good for him. Jumping into the building. MG42 pushing through the center. Austruppen coming around the corner here as well. Question is Asha going to be a 4 Austruppen player or 3? Sometimes see both. Conscript's getting suppressed there. Forced away. So MG42 doing some heavy lifting here, as it is supposed to. Causing Luvnest some headaches. It's stalling here for the flamethrower to pop. It does pop. Oh, he's getting forced out of the building. Quite low. Conscript's threatening the flank on the machine gun now. Luvnest coming around. No, he's stepping into the building. I thought he might oorah around the corner. Asha packs it up anyway. The threat of the flank enough to push him back. Austruppen over here versus the combat engineers. Flamethrower doing some good damage, but they're quite low to start things off with. Conscript's keeping the pressure on here with the oorah. Trying to force back the MG42. Asha slowly on the retreat here. One model, he's going to have to retreat there anyway. Combat engineer flamers do get forced away, but they got the Austruppen very, very low. And this squad over here also outnumbered. Does manage to sneak on to that point though, while Luvnest is over here capping. So pretty good field control from Asha early, and there's going to be a 3 Austruppen player going into a fast tier 2 here, not stopping for a squad of Panzer Grenadiers.
The enemy is taking our territory.
So should be a lightning fast light vehicle. Will it be the Flamer half-track though, or will it be the 222? That's the big question. But yeah, this will be an incredibly fast light vehicle. And it's going to be the Flamer half-track. Just has so much more game-ending potential than the 222, even though, you know, it is then vulnerable to the opposing light vehicles a lot more. Can't really fight back against a T70 or an M5. And sometimes the M5 is a good response to an Austruppen strategy like this. You arrives 40 fuel earlier than the T70. And, you know, performs very well against the 222 and the Flamer half-track, so worth considering. I have seen Luvnest use it before in these kind of scenarios as well. I know I'm always bleating on about the quad for Soviets, but it's starting to gain a bit more traction now. A bit more popularity. Trying to stall for time is Asha while the Flamer half-track upgrade completes. These squad's pretty healthy at the moment though. And Luvnest may be smelling that something's up. Good merge into the Flamer squad though. And this is a pretty long retreat path. Could potentially lose one of these squads. No, very quick to retreat on the Flamer half-track's arrival. And the infantry models are pretty healthy on these two squads. So I think they'll be alright. Just have a mine out here as well. Trying to go for tier 2. AT grenades coming through as well. Sweeper spots a mine right on the base entrance. And Asha not risking it, diving in.
Conscripts can now attack tanks with AT grenades.
AT grenades have popped. Will the option here be for Luvnest? I imagine he's going to go for an AT gun, but could also be a squad of guards. No, it is going to be a squad of guards. Guards, you know, do stand to suffer more bleed from the Flamer half-track, because they have to get within range of its flamethrowers basically to deal damage to it. But then they can also retreat, not nearly as vulnerable to getting decrewed and just losing the game on the spot to a well-timed Flamer half-track push. So both have their risks and rewards. But yeah, building a tier 2 there also gave him, you know, the extra bit of command points so he could get those guards out a little bit earlier. So there's definitely a point to putting that down. But Luvnest so far holding on pretty well against the Flamer half-track. Just coming forwards, getting a few PTRS shots on it here and there. hold on to the cutoff. Flame half-track heading out to the far flank. We do have another mine over here for Luvnest, and the Flame half-track back in that direction. Conscripts on the run though. And the guards doing a really nice job against the Peregrines. Grenade onto them here though. No dodge! And the squad goes down. Looks like they also threw a grenade, but the Peregrines are going to make it out of there alive. Horrible trade there for Luvnest. Lost his guards. He is in deep, deep trouble. Trying to put down his tech now, but without the guards, this Flame half-track has free reign. The only thing that can take it down here is like a conscript ooh-ahing in and throwing an AT grenade. So Luvnest is just going to have to grin and bear it until his tech is complete, but he's right about there for a T-70 now. Just needs some manpower, so maybe that's his grand plan. Get that T-70 cooking as quickly as possible now. Very early retreat there from Luvnest. Doesn't want to take any unnecessary damage. And it's a good idea because, you know, Soviets only have 3 medics. And sometimes when you take like a whole bunch of flame damage on a whole bunch of models like this, it can really overload your healing back in base and make it hard to push back onto the battlefield. So why not retreat early, avoid some damage, and avoid overloading your medics. Very good idea. But yeah, that's one of the, like, you know, Soviets get 6-man squads. Very durable, hard to wipe. But then on the back end, it can be hard to heal them. 42 getting flanked here. Really nice play from Luvnest, coming with a flamer from the other side. Such a well executed maneuver there. Flamer half-track back up to full strength though. Conscript's getting melted behind the cover. Flamer half-track doesn't chase in for the wipe though. Oh, combat engineers through the center could go down though. He does have the mine. In fact, he's got 2 mines down here. I know Asher did spot one of them. T-70 comes through, but the Peregrines finished the job. T-70 doing some damage. Pack in production for Asher. Oh, and he's going to get within range for a Faust. It's going to slow down the T-70. And he did lose 1 combat engineer, so repair's not as easy to come by. Pyro's coming in on the rear, maybe hoping to plant a tower on the T-70's retreat path. A little bit risky, retreating past that. Flamer half-track coming in from the side. Forcing away another squad. And he's really trying to get the wipe here. But it does not materialize. And in comes the AT gun, so better pull back and get some repairs on that now. No, he's staying in, going for the Peregrines. This is a little bit risky. Half-track applying pressure through the center. Pack connects. Another Faust connects. Attack rounds from Asher, hoping to get that long-range scatter shot. T-70 on the run. Pack pushing forwards. T-70 stopping here. Pack gets in range. Ostroopen go down though. Pack loses sight for a second and barely misses. He did like a tiny pixel of damage to the T-70 there. Heartbreak for Asher. Ostroopen trying to chase him for the kill, but they also go down. Everything dying here for Asher, trying to finish the job on this T-70. Oh man, so heartbreaking that Pack, you know, the Ostroopen died, so he lost sight of the T-70 there for a little bit, and then when the Pack finally did shoot, just grazing the T-70 did a tiny bit of damage. I would be raging after that. And ultimately, Asher loses 2 squads to Ostroopen there. Guys take a lot of damage. That's what I was talking about. That's a lot of healing required. But you can see what Luvnest was doing there. He fired his PTRSs at the Peregrines, so they weren't available to fire at the Flamer half-track. So he pulled back while they were reloading, then tried to turn around and open fire, hopefully once they were reloaded, but didn't quite get the timings correctly. PTRS took a little bit longer to fire than he expected. A T-gun in jeopardy in the center. Conscript's in the building, but he gets out of it. I thought he would have tried to get the decrew there, just stayed in the building a little bit longer. But he's playing very conservatively. Here comes the T-70 now. Have we got any telemines down? I don't think I saw any. Alright. Comes the T-70 out to the far flank. Zis coming in for Luvnest, perhaps expecting a medium tank in. Well timed because Asha has just completed support armor structure.
Enemy forces are securing.
He's a little bit strapped for manpower at the moment. Perhaps, you know, maybe double... Oh, button. Button, that's allowing the T-70 close the distance. One more shot and the flame half-track is dead and the T-70 finishes the job on it there. So Asha losing his grip on the game now. Oh man, it was looking so promising. That flame half-track play was going so well. The T-70 kill did not happen and now he's falling apart. Very close to a tank now. But yeah, what I was saying is that maybe the second Peregrine taxed his manpower a little bit too much. Did end up delaying his medium tanks here. That's jumping into the building here. T-70 pushing forwards. Pack was back at base. Actually doesn't have any healing. Oh man, maybe that's why he's bleeding so much. No healing in base for Asha. Wow. That could be it. Why he's bled so much manpower. Look at this KD. And this is, you know, Luvnest with Soviets bleeding quite a lot from these guards and conscripts. But Asha just way behind in the KD. Pack connecting. P4 just about complete. But Luvnest investing into the AA guns here. And that should be able to tame Panzer IV at this timing. Here he comes. But yeah, this extra delay, you know, extra couple minutes behind what he could have produced at has allowed Luvnest to build the second AT gun in response. Pushes in, trying to get some damage in. Once again, very, very slow to upgrade the machine gun. That's like one of the first things I do on all my tanks. Peregrine's looking for the wipe on the conscripts. The T-70 might have just saved the day there, preventing the chase down. Very lucky break for those conscripts getting away. And Tripwire maybe threatening the wipe on the Peregrines in response. T-70 chasing in, forcing everything back. Zis applying pressure to the Panzer IV. Not the start that Asha was hoping for, and a squad of Peregrines did go down somewhere. Oh, there was a squad on retreat, right at the doorstep to the conscripts. Oh man, Asha. I feel sorry for him. Man, that was such a unfortunate loss. Now look at his infantry in tatters. He's got enough for another tank though. So double tank pressure could pull him back into this game. The thing he has to be worried about is all these mines from Luvnest. Oh boy, his pack's in jeopardy out here. Taking some damage. Machine gun there. Does get the suppression in, but the conscript's coming in behind doesn't quite get the job done. Okay. There's hope for him yet. B4 just about repaired. Second one nearly out. Let's see what he can get done here. Luvnest does have the AT guns and 3 conscripts with the snares, as well as some guards. So still not easy.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Making use of the Ostrup and medkits here instead of building the bunker. Wow. Pushing in. Why doesn't he have machine gun upgrades on these tanks? It's really irritating me. He's got 300 munitions. 350. Oh, here we go. It does hit one of those mines like I was talking about. No Zis over here at the moment. Both the Zis targeting the other Panzer IV, which is getting some pressure applied to it by the P-Greens. Nice coming over for the repairs now. Conscripts went down? No. They took quite a lot of losses. G42 in a little bit of jeopardy. P-Greens throwing the bundle grenade. Easy to dodge. Okay. So, what is Luvnest AT positioning going to be like going forwards? That's the most important question. Has managed to put down his tier 4 as well. So he's right about there for his tank. And the P4s do have quite a lot of trouble penetrating the KV1. Perfect bullet sponge. AT guns. Oh, one in the center. Looks like he's going for a split on them now. Not using the 270 in recon mode here. So he's not having much success with the Zis connecting. T70 coming forwards now, packing a nice position to counter it. P4 on the far flank. It's P4 rotating behind the building to safety. Zis pushing up now. Luvnest slowly advancing, but the P4 is bleeding nicely. Big bundle grenade. Guards grenade in response. Nearly gets the kill. Both ways. And Zis on this side doing some damage in finally. P4 over here. Doing some damage. KV just about complete. Zis barrage clearing out the machine gun in the center. Oh. Ostrupen dead? Last Ostrupen squad dead? Is that them over there? How did they die? How did they die? Is it just to the conscripts? Is he late on retreat? Not sure. Seems like it would have been avoidable though. Okay, Asher going for the Flak Panzer. But this is going to arrive a little bit too late. He could have set up like a triple tank push here. Completely overwhelmed Luvnest, but Luvnest going to have his KV1 in time to counter this offensive, so don't see this going terribly well for Ash. He just doesn't have the infantry to support these pushes, apply pressure to the double AT guns. And he's not quite there for the sector artillery. But once sector artillery also not that useful. I do prefer Ostrupen because you can drop the railway artillery on the AT guns, force them to move at least during an offensive maneuver, whereas sector artillery can only be targeted on friendly territory. Makes it harder to use in these offensive scenarios. Okay, T70 coming forward. As this misses. No evac on the building for Asher. He's just completely falling apart here. Black Panzer coming in from the side. Doing some big damage. This very, very low. P4s both pushing in. Double mine still over here. Asher did spot these with the sweeper at some stage. And this hangs on by a thread. Still alive. He's got the sweeper here now. Spots that mine. Doesn't end up triggering. AT gun getting fiercely reinforced. All three tanks firing on it here. And they're finally upgraded with machine guns this time. AT gun from the side though, taking a lot of damage. Goes down to the KV1. Seconds this from the side. Panzer IV is in trouble. KV1 leading the charge. Gets the recrew with the Pioneers. KV1 coming around the corner. Zis chasing in. KV focusing down the AT gun first. T70 coming in behind this as well. All these Panzer IVs very, very low. Pack goes down. T70 spotting with the recon mode. Takes it off though. Flak Panzer there. But now the pack out of no man's land. And as I said, no infantry to support here for Asher. Things are looking grim. Looks like he did drop sector artillery at some stage. T70 goes down, seconds this recruit from the rear though. exposing the Flak Panzer. Flak Panzer in some trouble. And the double AT guns out the front dealing with the Panzer IVs. Does not make it around the corner in time. P4 goes down. And that's got to be it. Asha calls the GG. Close one. Oh, I think it just all came down to the engagement here. That pack missing the shot on the T70 over here by a whisker, allowing Luvnest to stay in this match. And then Asha just kind of falling apart down the straight, losing that machine gun in the building to the Zis barrage. A few losses on the flanks. No good reason. Luvnest showing his tenacity. Also, I think it was a big mistake never building medics at any stage. Really cost Asha a lot of manpower this game. And maybe going for the second Pegram was also a mistake, delaying his first and subsequent tanks. Maybe some early medium pressure could still have sunk Luvnest, but ended up getting delayed quite a lot. But overall, GG, what a great series between these two. Very, very closely matched. Well played to Luvnest. He takes it out though.